With the 10th seed coming into the finals, with a personal best average from the first round of 6.59 seconds, is Ray Bai.
Ray Bai, as they said.
Ray is from Plano,
6.59.
Texas. Ray enjoys video games and cooking and listening to rap and K-pop music. His proudest cubing accomplishment is making the finals at the 2023 National Championship, and also this appearance right now, making the All-Stars final round.
There you go. Thompson kind of just doing all of our work for us, but you can see all of his PRs there. Well, that PR is outdated.
Yeah, just
with
in the last
the 9th
round,
seed
Ray got
is
another PR
Zeke,
average. So
6.59.
Mackie.
we're going to have to go through our graphics and update
Yeah.
them.
with an average of 6.54 seconds coming into the finals. Zeke is from Heartland, Wisconsin. He enjoys eating steak, and his proudest cubing accomplishment is his 4.48 second 3x3 single solve.
I believe
Good
Zeke
luck
was
to both
recently
competitors.
On an eating competition.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
How much steak did he eat?
I
Did
don't
you-
know
did
the
you
exact
tune in?
number. Some absurd
He
amount.
ate an amount of steak that I believe no human should be legally allowed to eat.
But on a different note, Zeke, one of the most all-rounded cubers in the entire WCA. Just incredible. All right, here we go. No more pleasantries. Ray Bai to get us started. 3x3 finals, everyone. It's like a white cross solution, looking pretty good through F2L.
Oh.
Wow, what a last layer, 5.55 seconds.
5.55, another famous-ish number, maybe not as famous, but that
Yes.
was a world record single for a long time.
Yes, yes.
And now we just get a little bit of applause.
I mean, this was a great solution from Ray. Very efficient in F2L, and what was that last layer? It was one of those simple, like, wide soons into a U-perm. That's one of the best last layers you can ask for.
That was a great solve. Ray really, if he can keep that pace up, I mean, I'd love to see it. I'd be happy for him.
Let's see if Zeke can find something similar.
So Zeke is on yellow, and I noticed this while watching Ray's solve.
Yeah.
Yellow looks pretty good.
Okay. Well, Zeke got a pretty good solve himself. 631 is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, don't look at the 0.8 second difference and think that is going to be consistent through the rest of these
Oh,
solves.
yeah, definitely not.
Certainly there's going to be a lot of give and take, push and pull between these two competitors as we get later on into the averages.
Yeah, Zeke finishing up with a Y perm. Not a great, I would say probably about an average PLL. He had probably about an average last layer.
Ray on attempt 2. Another good yellow, it looks like, that he's not opting to use.
He looks like he's using white, perhaps white only. Okay, not bad. 686, a bit behind the pace. I'm sure Ray is looking for much faster.
Ray is still looking on point. I think he's familiar to this kind of pressure. This is a bit more familiar now.
Yeah.
With the previous 2 rounds, we were seeing, I think, a lot of nerves were coming from the fact that usually in these second rounds, they're not used to getting eliminated.
Right, exactly.
However, in this round, it doesn't matter. Just do the best you can. And I think that's what our skilled competitors are doing today.
Definitely.
They're much more used to this kind of environment.
All right, so you'll notice this is going to be the same scramble, but Z kind of flipping between white and yellow. What's he going to pick here? Also white, it looks. Good start.
Not a pause.
That was an interesting solution there.
There's a lot of turning. I didn't see a lot of pausing.
Yeah. But yeah, it looked like a good amount of turning. I thought F2L was originally done kind of early, but I think perhaps there was an extra pair that was not quite completed from our perspective. You can look at it here in the top down.
Yeah, that looks
That's
like
a long
lot
OLL.
of moves.
I mean, it's not a bad OLL, but it looks kind of long. By the way, the countdown, that's the inspection timer. So Ray's used up 10 seconds of inspection here. White cross again. This is looking pretty good. Ooh.
A little bit of a lockup.
Yeah.
Didn't quite get that layer. It's turned as far as we wanted it to.
Yeah, not quite. 781. He's turning in the wrong direction here. I mean, look, these are all like quite good solves. I mean, obviously Ray, for him, like a 7 is not a particularly good solve.
Yes, but before last round, Ray's average coming into this competition was a 6.61.
Right. Yeah, it looks like a little bit of hesitation there on that OLL. It did end up just being the 6 mover, but didn't quite give a good PLL.
There is all the chance in the world that these last 2 solves could be pretty good, and we could see, Ray getting another PR.
Yeah.
Off of this.
So it looks like Zeke has started off here. 620. Good comeback. Good comeback.
It's hard to tell because we switched a little late, but I think that was a real quick ZPLL.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
Let's take a look back here. I think we have a little bit of time before Ray gets his cube.
Yeah, our scramblers are working overtime. They are going so fast right
now.
Yeah.
That's a very simple ZB. It's basically the stock algorithm.
Yes, it's practically a PLL skip at that point.
Essentially, yeah. But hey, still need to be able to recognize and execute. So good solving from Zeke. Ray, solve 4.
A little bit of hesitation there. Looks like he wanted to pick it back up. Oh, come on.
Ooh, what was that OLL?
I'm not sure, but...
What was the... execution on the OLL felt a little bit strange to me, but it also did just look like a lot of moves in that solution.
A 6.32 BPA. Now, that is pretty exciting. Is that potentially another PR for Ray?
That would be a PR. I mean, 6.32 would be a PR by a long shot.
In the last round, he got a 6.59.
Yeah.
So a 6.32 would be another PR for him. PRs are not very common for
not at this level.
The fact that Ray is on
in
pace
finals
to break 2 PRs at the same competition, one of them in finals, I think Ray is really on point.
Yeah, he needs to lock in on the last one. Good first turns. Ooh, that's a bit of a tough one. 6-12, good finish, good last layer there. That's a little bit of a trap OLL. It's not a super difficult one, but not easy to execute. You have to do those M moves and need to make sure that they're on point. If you mess up the M move, your solve is basically over. And it's not super difficult to mess them up either. Need to be very clean.
I think the field is wide open for both competitors as well. I mean, they're looking at a fairly similar best possible average. Worst possible, a little bit bigger variation, but either one of them could be finding themselves in front after this solve.
All right, here's Ray. Can he make the 5.55 count and get a 6.32 massive PR? Great start.
Turning. Yeah!
6-2-1 or 5-2-1.
Another PR.
Amazing. 6.32.
2 in a row.
That actually, so if he came into the competition with that, instead of being 22nd ranked in this, he'd be 17th. He's just launched himself up 5 places on this ranking alone, and what a clutch solve. 521. Ray came prepared. Amazing solving from Ray. Let's see if Zeke can follow. Zeke was looking pretty good there. A very, very steady average from Zeke. 6.47 to finish.
Wow.
6.33.
Oh, my.
Just a little bit behind.
Ray clutching out that 5.21 to seal it. 0.01 ahead of Zeke. And Zeke didn't even have a bad solve.
No, those are good. Those are good solves. That's incredible.
Is this what is Zeke's PR? 609. Okay, not quite. But I think getting a 6.33 after having a 609, this is a great performance by Zeke.
Yeah.
Obviously great from Ray. I think they did a fantastic job in this average.
Yeah, love the sportsmanship there. Here we go. Here's Ray's 521 again. You can look at how fluid he is. This solve did not have a single lockup. That is execution. That is like world-class solving right there. It's not quite top 100. I don't think it'll be quite top 100.
No, I don't believe so.
Oh,
just outside,
right.
But that's amazing. Amazing job from
Can we
Ray.
give one more round of applause to Ray and Zeke here today?
Yo, hats off to these guys. That was a great start to this finals.
I hope we can see more of that.
Yeah.
Something that you may or may not know if you're watching this for the first time is that in this final round, all of our competitors are going to be receiving the exact same scrambles. So all of these cube states, they're going to use their skill sets to solve it as fast as possible. So we will truly see who's the best here today.
Ray actually double PR there.
The next 2 competitors we are presenting to you. In our 8th seed from Alpharetta, Georgia, getting a 643 average in round 2. Nicholas Sanchez. Some stuff he likes to do outside of cubing is going to the gym. Highly respect that. And his proudest cubing accomplishment is having a 4.38 3x3 solve.
That 438 was in 2019 WR4 at the time.
And our 7th seed. He is 18 years old, hailing from Georgetown, Kentucky, with an average of 622 in the second round. Luke Greiser. Something Luke loves to do outside of cubing is lifting, singing, and playing the piano. And his proudest cubing accomplishment is having a 5.51 3x3 average, which at the time in July 2023 was 8th in the world.
So impressive.
Competitors, good luck.
So impressive. We got 2 gym bros out here. Let's see if their hard work on the gridiron is that what? No, I guess gridiron is specifically football. In any case, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Let's see if it translates over to cubing.
Now, Luke is an interesting one here because he has a 5.51.
551, yeah.
Which is really up there on the psych sheet.
And he's been working hard, too. Let's see if Nicholas has anything to say about that. Starting off on yellow cross. This is ZB. He's trying to recognize the ZB here. I mean, he got the ZB, but the recognition.
That's the problem with ZB. We've been talking about it.
If you can't recognize it quickly, sometimes it's just faster to just do the stock and do the PLL. He had one where like the stock was just going to be 8 moves anyway, and it would have given him. So if he would have done it, yeah. If he from the U2 angle, if he had done the stock alg, the 8-mover alg, he would have had a U-perm. So a bit rough to start off here, but hey, it's the first solve. One solve you get that doesn't count. So Nicholas still has a chance for a really good average. Luke Greiser now. Solve 1. This is really fluid. But that was also ZBLL recognition. 595, not bad. Not bad.
So for those at home who are just joining us and maybe didn't catch our explanation of ZBLL earlier, ZBLL is an advanced algorithm set for the last layer. That's what the LL stands for. I'm not going to try and pronounce what the ZB stands for. They're both, I think it's a Polish and a Dutch name.
Yes.
But it's an advanced algorithm set that has 493 algorithms, whereas the standard, it can replace 2 sets of algs that have 21 and 57 algorithms each.
Yeah.
So we're looking at, almost 8 times the number of algorithms, but when it pays off, you can skip an entire step, and you need that at this level.
Yeah, definitely. For Luke there, it was definitely the right choice to do the ZB. Very fast. Solve 2 coming up. Bit more fluid, a bit of a pause on F12-4. Not a bad last layer, 780. Compared to Ray and Zeke, definitely behind the pace. Still has some time to kind of get settled, though. F12-3 was the pause, my mistake. Luke Greiser now. He's been grinding very, very hard, specifically for North American Championships. Let's see what he can produce here. Solve 2. Very, very smooth. What was that? That was great. That was just great. F2L directly into the OLL. Just a little bit of time for PLL recognition. 527. Fantastic solve.
I think there was a very small lockup there. I do wonder if he had that smoothness all the way through, we might have seen a sub-5 there.
We could have. There's that lockup you're talking about. Is. And a Y-perm, not even that good of an OLL, not even that good of a PLL. Ooh, it's getting intense, huh?
Oh, certainly.
Luke is bringing the heat.
You can see me when they flip the cameras back. I'm leaning forward.
Yeah, we're in this. All right, Nicholas here. He needs to come back. He needs a low 6, I think. You can hear some of the amusement park screams in the background. A very tough environment. Very, very different from a typical competition. What can he do here? 12 seconds of inspection gone. Good F2L solution cancel into the OLL, but just A, a lot of moves. B, very locky at that end.
We're seeing a lot of those nerves come through.
It's tough. It's really tough.
It's really hard. It cascades. Once you make one mistake, then you get tense and you lose control.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes, in my experience, I found it's better to just slow down, relax, get don't make those mistakes.
Dude, easier said than done, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I tell myself this all the time. Slow down and, just execute. But it's so tough when you're in a final situation. Yeah, Luke also starting off really locky. He's going to want this one not count. But still getting 636, that's not bad by any means.
No, that's within half a second so far of the 5.95. I mean, if he keeps this up, I mean, this is, in some other rounds, I think we'd be looking at like a third-place podium.
Yeah. I mean, what did Ray have again? Ray had like 630, right?
632.
This is that is on 630 pace.
So last round, in round 2, we had a 568, 574, and 582 as our podium positions. So certainly the 636 is a little bit higher than that.
A little bit.
With Luke's other 2 solves, I mean, he's still
he's still in a good position here. Nicolas, solve 4. This is looking quite a bit better. Oh, commentators curse a little bit. It is quite a bit better than the previous solves. A little bit of that lockup / just not clean execution right at the end, but a lot better. Unfortunately, it looks like his best possible is going to be 784. It's very unlikely that that'll cut it, especially with 2 6s already on the board. V-perm. Oh, man. I hate V-perm. I think it's the worst PLL.
It's one of the longer ones. There are not any great algorithms for it.
Yeah, this is very unfortunate. Ooh, going back to inspect. That's interesting. I wonder what he sees here. Ooh, a little bit crunchy to start, but his turning is still... His turning is just so fast. If you could, I don't know if you could hear that on the stream. He audibly goes, yes. He's going to count that 5.53. So 5.95, 5.33 counting. He has locked himself into a sub-6 average. His worst possible. His cube could explode right now. Okay, maybe not right. Sorry. In solve 5, his cube could explode, and he would still get a 5.95 average. That's going to secure him the first place right now.
5.58 average would be the best average that we have seen.
That's amazing. So far. That's amazing. To do this in finals, Luke is showing up.
That is a first place contention.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah. He has a real chance.
And definitely a possibility for the podium.
So this is going to be a yellow cross from Nicholas, who we've usually seen do white cross. But this is a good solution. 636, solid finish. That usually happens when you have maybe a little bit of a rockier, restier average. You get to the end and you're like, well. And so that kind of lets the nerves go a little bit. Yeah, it feels a little bit bad because it's like, if this were on a better average, then it could actually be useful. Here it's not even going to count, right?
Yep.
But, it is what it is. It's a final situation. It's tough. But everyone has gotten good solves on this. Everyone's gotten at least a 6. What will Luke do here? Can he lock up the BPA 558? He's also looking at that yellow cross.
Which is crazy. White looks okay.
Yeah.
So yellow must be really okay.
Just did that UD prime to do that pseudo slot there. He's got a U perm to finish. Just couldn't quite execute it, unfortunately. 662. It's also not going to count for him. It's the worst solve of the average. 595 is the final, and that is very competitive.
Certainly. I would be very interested to see what the other results are going to be, and we will learn soon enough. But I definitely think 595 has potential for a podium position.
Man, looking at that solve, you have to be thinking that he is kicking himself for the execution.
All right, let's give it up for Nicholas and Luke.
Could have been way, way faster. Low 6, very likely.
Very, very awkward, I would say.
Very awkward,
it's not usually the kind of angle or alg that you do.
All right, time for our next 2 competitors.
Just very, very tough to execute in these kinds of environments.
But
seed. Well done to Luke. Hats off. That was a great
average time of 6.13 seconds is Dylan Miller.
Dilly Millie, one of my favorite cubers, had to really push up to make the finals here.
Hailing from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And outside of cubing, he enjoys basketball, 2000s rock, and 1 season TV shows. His proudest cubing accomplishment is his 4th place finish at the North American Championship 2022.
So yeah, definitely Dylan looking for a little bit of revenge, trying to make finals at NEC this year. The podium,
the 5th
most
seed,
certainly.
With an average time from the second round of 5.90 seconds. 13-year-old Caleb Chen.
13 years old Caleb. That means that was born right when I started cubing.
Our second finalist.
You've been cubing longer than he's been alive, Nick.
Uh-oh.
Caleb enjoys basketball and video games, and his proudest cubing accomplishment is being a finalist at the 2023 National Championship.
Caleb
US
Chen
National
has a
Championship.
2022 WCA
Good luck
ID,
to both competitors.
meaning that Caleb attended his first competition in 2022.
Yeah.
That was maybe not even 2 years ago.
It was probably less than 2 years ago. He started competing. He got a sub-10 average in his first competition. He's one of these pandemic cubers, man. The pandemic definitely gave people a ton of opportunity to practice. And we're seeing that now. Cubing has seen such a growth, and it's amazing. It just means great content for me, Nick, and all of you sitting at home. All right, Dilly Millie, solve number 1 coming up here. I wonder if the competitors know what the other finalists have gotten.
Oh, that's a good question, because I don't think that they're allowed to use their devices.
Right.
Because we are live streaming this, and we're holding them off in a separate area.
Yes, yes.
And we're keeping them away from any screens, so they may not even know going into this what they have to beat.
Right.
Immediately saying, yeah, it looks like there's a
ton of yellow stuff,
there.
right? I did not see this
major
earlier.
potential.
There's a lot of stuff here.
I noticed.
Okay.
I thought it was weird because I think someone did white on it.
It's really fast turning going into OLL. Kind of locky, though. 672.
Yeah, you saw him miss some of those turns.
Yes, yes. That's the disadvantage of turning so quickly is sometimes if you make a small execution error, your cube can lock up. Cubes have never been better before. We have magnets in these cubes now. Sometimes they kind of auto-align with some of the turns, but you still need to be accurate in order to make the most out of these really what looks to be some pretty good solves.
I do have a small correction about the phone. So they do have their phones on them, but we are going to be observing them.
Sure.
We do have people that are watching, making sure they're not getting any information from the stream.
Right, of course, because that would be very unfair.
Yes.
All right, Caleb here. Caleb had a really good average in the first round as well, and just a top competitor altogether. What does he see? 10 seconds of inspection gone.
Whoa.
Ooh, what
that looked fast out of the gate, and then something happened.
Yeah, there was a weird F. This is a ZB. 13-year-old knowing ZB is pretty impressive in and of itself.
Man, the first half of that solve was like it was a 4. The back half of it was like a 14.
Yeah, not sure what happened. There was that weird F that he did at the end of F2L. And I wonder if we can see it a little bit better here.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like maybe
it looks like cross was not aligned or something. Something just didn't. Man, that's really unfortunate to see. But hey, at least he was able to show off his ZB knowledge, and he still got a 9.
Yeah.
So
makes you feel bad, doesn't it?
Makes me feel real bad.
Taking that headphone out, I'm always nervous that they're going to forget. Because if they forget to take that headphone out, their solve is going to get disqualified.
All right, Dilly Millie. Coming in, he doesn't think it's that good just based on that facial expression. 10 seconds of inspection gone. Bit locky.
Still looks like a good solve.
So what was that at the beginning, man? He was like, nah, I'm not feeling it. This is no good. If this is a bad solve for him, we got a good one coming up.
Sometimes you just have those solves, though, where they just start off bad and then that somehow comes together.
No, that's very true. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, this one's going to be good. It ends up being terrible. And I'm like, this one's, I don't really see much here. It just ends up being good. Kind of just depends. It's a kind of managing your expectations a little bit, which is also amplified by how many people are watching, you think? There have to be like at least 50 people just here. And, of course, there's hundreds of you.
Oh, in the crowd, certainly. I think we got a couple hundred people. We have a bunch of crowd on the balconies above us.
Mm-hmm. What will Caleb do now? He was looking at white cross first. Now he's looking at yellow. Not an obvious solution to me.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, that's
ZB,
a ZB.
ZB, ZB. No, no. Caleb.
The missed execution. That was a good-looking ZB too. I'm not sure exactly which one it was.
We don't know ZB.
I don't think it's not one that I know. Well, maybe I can look at it from here. I definitely don't know full ZB, but it did
so good.
It was very blocky, which makes me think it was. No. I see. It was the 2-flip. We actually saw Brian get this one earlier. He actually opted to do RUD to solve it. Very beginner's method like. Caleb opting for the RUL algorithm here, which is a little bit different. Can be faster, can be slower. Depends on how much you practice it. Caleb getting 2 ZBs, unfortunately just the execution not quite there for him to capitalize. Very unlucky.
So that 7, 8, 9 is going to count, and that's really going to bring up his average.
Yeah, man. Dylan signaling that he's ready. Doing tons of rotations. He's trying to maximize his inspection, trying to see as much as he can. Switching to yellow cross now. Now back to white cross. Ugh. Yeah, a bit locky, a bit long F2L solution. 658. He isn't super impressed. Not too bad, but when there's a 5-second average on the board, 650 is pretty tough to count.
Yeah, it's not what you want to be counting here. Definitely when the past podiums were looking in like the mid to upper 5 ranges, you don't want to be counting 6 5s.
Yeah, it's just not going to do it, unfortunately.
So even though we are doing head-to-head, this is not going to be an elimination bracket of any kind.
Correct.
We are going to be ranking everybody else in the order of the average that they get.
Mm-hmm. Interesting that you can see Caleb kind of like counting with his fingers almost, pointing out where all the pieces are going to go. I think he had a pretty good cross solution, decent F2L, A-perm to finish, 636. Good comeback.
All right, beginning to turn it around a little bit.
He's still going to need to count something pretty good, like at the very least a low 6, if not a 5. He's going to need to count. So that's pretty tough. I'd say he has his back against the wall here.
I am really excited to see what kind of results Caleb puts down on the future.
Yeah.
Something I noticed particularly about these younger cubers is that they have incredible turn speed.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of them seem to have a little bit more difficulties with look ahead.
Yes.
Or planning.
Yes, indeed.
And you see definitely a lot of these young people can blitz out 20 moves, but then they pause. And I think we see a little bit of that with Caleb Solve.
And that's something that I know Felix in particular has been. He's been trying to like kind of like let people know like, hey, it's not all about turn speed. You can turn a little bit slower, but if you look ahead, don't lock up, and turn smoothly, then you got it.
And if you can do both, I mean,
then you're just amazing.
Then you're amazing.
You're golden.
You're gonna win.
So there looks like there's a couple of white pieces oriented, but Dylan is looking a lot at yellow. I see 2 yellow pieces that are one move away from solved. Bit locky here. Long F2L. He did M2 to M2 cross. Ooh. All right.
This is
what do we got here?
I can't even tell from here.
You can't see from here. I wonder if we can get the overhead to try and see. Tim Reynolds, one of the. Oh, that's tough.
So I as a delegate, me and you, Manu, we're both delegates.
Yeah.
Not a penalty, so yes.
So it's okay. No +2 penalty added here.
When they are exactly on the line like that, they are not considered a penalty.
That's correct.
Because it's only for being over 45 degrees.
That's right. That's right. You can see how it stopped here. It was very, very close.
It's hard to get much closer than that.
Yeah, exactly.
But no penalty, and Dylan needed that to keep this average alive.
Yeah, he definitely needed that. 606 is BPA, so Dylan is out of the running to win it, but can still grasp second place right now if he can count 5-2-5 with a good solve coming up. Caleb, interestingly, looking at white cross. This is looking pretty decent.
Wow.
He had a good last layer. And the cheers from the crowd for Caleb, I love to hear it. He's now counted that 636, so he has a BPA of a 682, so he can still get a sub-7 average. Good on Caleb.
Yeah, he's beginning to turn this around. Started off with the 925, 789.
Yeah.
He's certainly not what he wanted to see, but the 636, 620, if we just pretend those last 3 are the real average.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, you know. And the thing is, we still have solve 5 coming up. which Ray-Bai was executed beautifully and got a 521. It is not impossible for one of these guys, even though they've never seen the scramble before, to come up with the same or similar solution.
Or something even better.
Something better is also possible. Yeah, very true. It's all kind of in the mix here. BPA is still possible for both of these guys. Dylan still has a chance at the podium. He's looking around. Looks like he's going to favor yellow here. Strongly favors yellow right now.
Oh.
Bit of a
CBs?
long F2L.
Nope, no CB.
568.
That's okay, though.
Very solid. Very solid. So Dylan has ended up counting a 5, a mid-6, and a low 6. 620 is going to be his final average. That still puts him in the second place spot.
Yeah, and we'll see if he can keep that. But certainly he's going to be...
With 4 competitors left, 3 of which, Luke Garrett, Maddie Hiroto Inaba, and Timone Kolosinski. Not easy.
Certainly not.
But he's put himself at least in some kind of position.
And there
That's
has
important.
not been a lot of historical consistency, I would say, in this competition.
Right.
I think that we're seeing certain people perform better than they normally do, and
Yes.
certain people performing worse than they usually do.
Yes.
So really anything could happen at this
yes. I love that phrase. Anything can happen.
point. It's true. Now as ever. And Caleb into his last solve.
Good
Wow,
F2L.
really quick F2L.
484! Caleb Chen, 484.
We were just talking about
There
how
we
this
go.
last solve.
Exactly. Let's watch
Guys,
that
can
again.
we get a huge round of applause?
On the yellow cross here, Caleb with an amazing F2L. Not too bad of an
Great
OL.
work to Dylan and Caleb.
RUDG perm. Dude, look at his face. Is that the face of a 13-year-old kid? Dude, that's a grizzled veteran right there. Now, of course, Caleb does have a 424 officially in competition. That's 25th in the world. But to get a 484 in front of this crowd and on this live stream, great work from Caleb.
Again, we're just in the Mall of America. There are a bunch of
fourth
random
seed.
people hanging
From
around.
round 2, getting a 5.88 average of 5. From the Big Island of Hawaii, Maddie Hiroto Inaba!
There he is, Maddie, one of the hottest cubers in the moment. Recently getting 2 threes in the same competition. Only Yihang Wang has achieved that. Yihang being the world record holder.
Of course, baseball, golf, and oil painting. And his proudest cubing accomplishment is he is the 2022 North American champion for 3x3 and 5x5.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. Do you think Maddie is the cubing, what do you call it, Leonardo?
And our third seed.
The Leonardo?
With an average of
Renaissance man?
5.82
Yes. I'll give it to him
round
at this
2.
point, man.
Hailing from Poznan, Poland, Timone Kolosinski!
And oh my goodness, if there's a competitor to watch, it's Timone.
Timone
One of the
loves
best
tennis.
to ever do it.
And also his proudest cubing accomplishment is a 1.18 2x2 average, which at the time was second in the world.
That's
competitors.
That's
good
his
luck.
proudest achievement. Former world record holder.
For 2x2. I think this matchup is so interesting, though. Because
very.
I think Maddie and Timone were the favorites going into this.
Definitely.
And here we are. They're in 3rd and 4th seeds going in.
But
they're not our last competitors.
But if we've seen anything from the first 6 competitors, there are some good scrambles out there. And there are some good solutions. Maddie getting ready basically immediately. Looking at that yellow cross. Can solve 2 pieces very easily.
Oh, wow. That looked like
wow,
a great
what is this
cross.
solution? 476 out the gate. Woo. Oh, Maddie has put his name on the board. He is hunting for that first place.
He is coming out swinging.
Oh, my goodness. What a great solution.
We were hypothesizing in the earlier rounds if Maddie was saving himself for the finals, and he...
With an end perm. With an end perm. One of the worst possible PLLs to get. What will Timone do here? Can he find a better solution? Is he also going to look at yellow? That's what it looks like right now. Yellow on bottom. Bit lock here. U-perm. 438! What have these last 3 solves been? 4, 4, 4. Back to back to back. Ladies and gentlemen,
we have a
up.
match.
Woo! Oh my goodness. It's getting hot in here, huh, Nick?
Do you need a towel?
I might need
I have some cold coffee from this morning.
Coffee.
Maddie going into Solve 2. Can we keep up?
All right.
I hope so.
Oh my
I
goodness.
love seeing fours.
Now, these middle three were some of the worst solves from the previous competitors. Let's see what these guys can do. Blue cross. First blue cross we've seen.
Oh, my God.
Very relatively fluid.
I thought for a second it looked like...
It looked really, really good for a second, but I want to say it was a G-perm at the end.
There was a little lockup, it looked like, going in between that OLL and PLL transition that just slowed him down.
That's rough.
We'll see. Yeah, right there.
Right there, yeah.
That OLL.
And yeah, that G-perm. GA, not a bad algorithm. Well, it's okay. Not the greatest. Very long. RUD has a lot of chances to lock up.
Yeah.
All right, Timone, will he also do the blue cross here? Oh, it kind of looks like it. Yeah, blue cross as well.
He looks so
This
calm.
is looking really good. That's a CB.
Oh.
530.
I thought that was going to be another 4. I don't know what I'm seeing.
It was a long CB.
It's a 4 in my heart. It looked like a 4.
I think it was an R prime to Y perm. One of those.
Oh, interesting.
One of those
Let's
kinds of
see
CBs. It was definitely a U case. That's what it looks like based on the execution. Yeah, R prime to Y prime.
So that's a long one.
Very long.
It took him a little bit to recognize.
Very long. 16 moves, I want to say. So yeah, so I mean 5. Wow, this is good. This is good. Yellow cross now. 545.
Still consistent. Although I don't think it had the same gusto that the first two had.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like, man, dude, it's so hard to critique a 5. Like
it's hard, but I will say this. I think really highlights where consistency is the name of the game. You saw that 5-4-2. That was because of a big lockup. Yeah,
that's true.
And here we had the consistency, and we got a similar time, even though it wasn't maybe quite as fast.
What is Timone's turning here? He's got a 4. 392! Ladies and gentlemen, that's a sub-4 single!
We're counting a 4.38.
This is a really good average so far.
Don't say it. Don't say
This is a really, really good average.
Jinx it. Don't you dare say
Timone is on a bender right now. He's counting 3-4-8.
Take a breath.
Everyone, there are 4 solves left here. Maddie has 2 more. Timone has 2 more. Solve 5 has been a really good one. We saw Caleb Chen get a 4. What can these top competitors do? I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm like, my face is in the monitor right now. I need to see every single move.
5 can be good.
Maddie on white cross. This is such a good solution. 518. He's shaking his head.
Oh my goodness.
He's shaking. He got a 518 and he's shaking.
This is so intense.
Maddie has a 512 BPA. 0.02 seconds off of his.
Even his worst possible average would still be the best.
Winning right now.
It would be the best average we've seen so far. Oh, that lock up there.
It's all 5 to come.
4.
Oh my goodness.
All right,
Timone.
It's locking in that range.
Huge lockup. This is gonna be 680.
That's okay. I still think. I mean, I don't want to say he can. I'm not going to judge him. If he could make that 392 count, look at it, a 4.53.
4.53 is on the cards.
I'm not going to say it.
Don't say it.
I'm not going to say it.
Don't say it. But Timone, he has a chance to make something very special here. With Solve 5 yet to come. Maddie, of course, as well. Both of these top players gunning for that top spot. Who is going to get it? Maddie with the better WPA, so Maddie has a chance to just take this outright, depending on what Timone gets. Solve 5.
You saw Caleb Chen with a 4.84, and then Ray Bai getting a PR single 5.21. This solve has potential.
Yellow cross. That's what both of them picked. Very long solution for F2L. Bit of a lockup. This is going to be a high 870. Maddie getting worst possible average. 585. Still first place right now. It's all up to Timone. Can he count his 392? Incredible solve. 3s are truly special. If he can get another 3 in this kind of situation, Mall of America, probably 1,000 people watching everywhere. Timone Kolosinski, everybody.
We have
Solve
the tongue
5.
sticking out just a little bit.
Started off on the yellow cross. This is looking really good. 501!
501.
Timone Kolosinski, 4.90 average. Amazing from Timone.
A sub-5 average at North American All-Stars.
In the finals, in such a tough situation. Look at all of these people in the crowd. All of you on the live stream. A 392 to back it up.
All right, we need another round of applause for our two competitors.
This is why Timone is one of the best in the world.
It is going to be astonishing to see Brian Johnson or Luke Garrett beat it. They have the potential. Do not get me wrong. Luke Garrett,
Luke Garrett in particular.
Dropping 0.13 seconds off an average.
I'm sweating.
Absolutely possible.
Also, fact check, Timone's proudest achievement was actually the world's first sub-5 average. I apologize. I just wanted to get that correct, so we saw another one here.
A sub-5 average is truroundly special,
and we have
gentlemen.
Almost concluded.
I mean, how many
we are now bringing in our second seed from round 2, getting a 574 personal record average.
4.74.
Yeah.
From Madison, Wisconsin. That's Brian Johnson.
Man, now I don't know what the competitors know. I don't know how much of the crowd knows that they can hear.
Brian loves transcribing music and talking to friends. And
he
has the 1.182 average as his proudest achievement.
That's for sure.
And it's a high bar.
Yeah.
And this is everything we've been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. Our number 1 overall seed from round 2.
He could get 2 PRs
with an average of 5.68 seconds. He is 18 years old. Hailing from Indiana, Luke Garrett.
Luke Garrett with a 5.03, the fastest person in the WCA.
Luke loves playing video games, and his proudest cubing achievement is he currently has the second fastest 3x3 single in the world with a 3.44 second solve. Competitors, good luck.
So I had mentioned before, I had forgotten about Ruhang Chu.
Oh, right, of course. Yes,
with
Ruhang.
a 4.84 average. So Luke with a 5.03, world rank 5 for 3x3 average. I mean, he definitely is.
He has the skills. I mean, Timone is a world-class solver, but so is Luke. And I think I've said it 3 times. I'm saying it again because I'm sounding like a broken record. The scrambles are out there. The solutions are out there. Can these guys find them?
I love watching Brian's turning. I said it once. I'll say it again. It's just the way he flicks that F. It's so interesting.
Interesting pause there. 717. Good, it looked like some pretty good turning, but just not quite as fast.
Yeah, I think that's maybe some of the issues we were seeing. Yeah, you can see his index finger. It's coming down. It's moving that F face. It's such a unique style that you don't see very often.
Yeah, and a very interesting solution to finish F2L there. A-perm to finish as well. All right, Luke Garrett, everyone. The stats are there. You don't need us to say it.
You know who he is. You know what he can do. Now let's watch.
Will he also be picking the yellow cross here? I think everyone has picked the yellow cross except for maybe Ray, who picked white. Yellow it is.
You can tell he was shaking his head.
MU2, M2, yeah, no, this is not it. 880, very uncharacteristic from Luke. You gotta wonder if it's the final situation, last 2 seeds.
You never know. These could be their worst solves.
One thing I do love about Luke as a competitor, though, he's always smiles. Always smiles.
He has a sort of energy about him.
Yeah.
That's just, it's always positive, even when he's messed up.
Yeah.
When he gets some crazy results, it's always awesome to see him hyped up and celebrate those.
Totally. So here's Brian. He's pretty deep into solve 2. Turn quite a bit slower, I would say.
Yeah. I don't want to call it early, but I do think having that 717 might put him a little bit
outside the range, you think?
A little bit downhill of that podium range. Currently sitting in 3rd place on the podium is Luke Garrett with a 5.95.
Yeah, man.
So I don't want to say the 7.17 is completely out, but Brian would have to pull some pretty remarkable times in order to drop that down.
I mean, even right now, only 2 solves in, I feel like he's going to need to count high five minimum.
Yeah.
To bring him, he might need 2 high fives to get back into it. At least compared to Luke Greiser. Luke Garrett, what does he got? Blue Cross, interesting. I don't think anyone has picked Blue Cross here, but that's a 5 from Luke.
Luke showing what he can do.
Good comeback. Good comeback. That was look, if Luke finishes with a bunch of mid-5s, he's on the podium. And that's all that matters. He needs to clutch up now. He does have that 8. It's a bit of a trap. Long PLL at the end there, but still was able to get the 5. The key is going to be for both of these competitors, they've got some pretty poor starts to begin with. The key is not letting that get into their head. There's so much mental that goes into this. Schwan Park talks about this a lot. Maddie has talked about this. It's what differentiates the world-class competitors from just everyone else. Looks like a bit of an execution error. That was a very, very good last layer.
I think we're seeing the nerves get to Brian a little bit.
It's tough.
Yeah,
it's just
tough.
tough.
Not coming together like they were in the first 2 rounds. And sometimes that just happens.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is, right? I mean, Brian should be very happy with getting that PR. I mean, that was a ZB.
Maybe he spent all of his energy in the first round. But yeah, Brian did get a really excellent PR in the previous round. I mean,
to make it into the finals is pretty important. We see this happens a lot at major championships where it's not the finals that people put their energy into. It's the semifinals to try and give your shot at the finals. Because if you don't make the finals, then you definitely can't win, right?
Yeah, that's a very, very good way of putting it.
What will Luke do here? Both Timone. So Timone on his 3, he had picked Blue Cross. Yellow Cross here for Luke. This is looking really good, though. This is going to be a 5. 625. That's a Mitch solution.
That's the second one we've seen today, I believe.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mitch Lane.
It's so, man, dude, after you see a 3, it's so tough because a 6 is such a great solve. But it's so difficult to back up once someone has gotten a 3.
We have some stats in the chat.
Oh, yeah?
Brian needs a .08 or better to get on the podium.
All right, so I'm not saying it's impossible, but...
We'll hold our breath. Certainly, not getting a good average, you can still get great singles.
That's true.
Especially when all the
still
pressure's
get a 3.
off. See?
There we go! That's a 4!
Brian getting a sub 5. See, even if maybe the average is a little higher than you want, it's always nice to have at least a little something to say about it.
Yeah, definitely. Good-looking solution here. And this was that was a 1-look last layer.
Whoa.
That's a 1-look last layer,
Whoa.
folks. Very blocky. So, and it's not a particularly hard PLL to begin with, and it was just there.
Yeah, it looked like he was about to do the OLL, and then he realized, wait a minute, I know this one.
So we've been talking about ZBL, right? Solve last layer in 1 move. That only happens if your cross is oriented. 1-look last layer, I think it's 1,000+ algorithms. No one knows it.
Oh, that's not true. I do believe there are
really?
2 people who have learned it. I believe.
All right, man. That's wild.
Fletcher Berry, I believe, was someone who learned it. It's like 4,000 algs.
That's a ZB. 580. Minimal reaction from Luke, but I mean that was a great looking solve. Very good F12. I mean, just a short pause for the ZB. That's all she wrote.
All right, Luke Garrett with the 5.84. That means only Luke now is in contention for that 3rd podium position.
Right, exactly. So that means Maddie is guaranteed to be on the podium here. Actually, Maddie is guaranteed to get 2nd.
Yes.
So Timone Kolosinski, everyone, has 1 North American All-Stars, and Maddie is going to get 2nd. Luke Garrett can still get onto the podium.
Luke Greiser, right there on screen, is in 3rd place.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be anxiously waiting. Brian on the last one. 655. Good solve from him to avoid WPA. 705 is going to be his final average. Brian looks like he's going to end up getting 9th place here in this finals. A bit off from his 2nd place seating, but hey, look, he got a 4. That's pretty solid. And he got a PR in the last round, right? Can't be too disappointed about the day's events.
So this is going to be our last solve of the competition
Indeed.
that we're about to see here.
And remember,
Luke Garrett, what can he do? We've seen
Caleb got a 4.
Yeah.
Timone got a 5. Ray Bai got a 5. Luke could get a 5. He could get a 4.
A 3?
It's not out of the question.
A 2?
Maybe. He's looking at that yellow. Yeah, the yellow cross looks quite good from what I can tell. Yeah, that yellow cross is really good.
Oh,
bit locky.
The pickup was just a little rough. This
solution is a bit too long for a 3. And that finish, 7:45, is going to end it here. He avoided the WPA, 6:50 to finish.
That means that we have our top 3 winners for Rubik's.
All right, let's give it one more round of applause to our competitors.
That's it, everyone. That is 3x3 finals here at Rubik's North America All-Stars.
Excellent work.